The following podcast may contain adult language and an abundance of salt. So get ready, nerds, because we're talking Apple TV's new show, Invasion. Welcome and thank you for joining us on another episode of the Salty Nerd Podcast. This week we're going to be discussing the new Apple TV Plus show Invasion with one of my favorite actors. Sam Neill is in it. And I'm joined as always by my fantastic panel of nerds. Matt Vader 74 is here. Welcome, sir.
Sam Neill's in it?
Yeah.
Like the first episode?
He's in all 3 episodes. What's wrong with you? Jude is also here.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. And Matthew Kadish. Welcome, sir.
I think Vader was trying to make a joke about how much Sam Neill is in the show.
He's in the show. I don't know.
He's stunt casting to the extreme.
You think so?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know.
They literally killed him at the end of the first episode.
Spoiler.
Heavy spoilers from this point forward.
I don't care.
I'm sure most people watching the show don't care either.
Is anybody watching this
He's
show?
dead. He's dead, guys. It's bullshit.
He might come back.
He could be, I guess.
I think he's coming back.
It's an alien invasion movie. I think
He's going to be a pod person, but let's get there.
All right, we'll get there. All right, everybody. We're going to take a quick break for a commercial thing, and then we'll be right back. We're going to get super nitty gritty into this show, so stay tuned.
Super salty.
Super salty.
Super salty podcast.
Welcome back. Hey, if you like what we do here and you want to get even more of it, go to saltynerdclub.com. That is where you are going to get 4 exclusive podcasts every single month. That is our most raw, unfiltered selves. We talk about Foundation from Apple TV. We also have a bunch of movie reviews that are specific only for our club members. And we have a great community there on our Discord app as well. So come join the community. Go to saltynerdclub.com and jump in there. We would love the support. And you guys get a ton of extra content in return. All right, Matthew Kadish, I know we're going to break this down a little differently than we normally do with our shows, so take it away, sir.
All right, so Apple basically dropped the first 3 episodes of this series. So we're going to cover all 3 episodes in this recap. However, we're going to break it down based off of the character's story because not a lot happens in each episode.
But there are a lot of characters.
Yeah, but there are a lot of characters. And this show was created by Simon Kinsburg, who's like one of the main writers on the show. And if you don't know who Simon Kinsburg is, he's the guy who ruined the X-Men movies. So yeah, so basically he wrote and directed Dark Phoenix and all that stuff.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, I really don't want to watch this show. Okay.
Yeah, so basically the first 3 episodes, we have episode 1 called Last Day, episode 2, which is called Crash, and episode 3, which is called Orion. And the premise of Invasion is that Earth is visited by an alien species that threatens humanity's existence, and events unfold in real time through the eyes of 5 ordinary people across the globe as they struggle to make sense of the chaos unraveling around them. And we start the series in the Arabian Desert in Yemen, which happens to be on Earth, because they like to point out that this is taking place on Earth for some reason.
Every time they switch to another scene and a new character, they're like, by the way, this is happening on Earth.
Are we gonna go to Xenon 11 pretty soon? Or?
I was like, what is happening in the next episode?
I love it when it said Oklahoma. Earth. Where the fuck else is Oklahoma?
No shit.
Well, that's why I was like, okay, are they going to have like the next episode on a different planet?
I know, right?
No. They're just being goofy.
Yeah. Chicago. Earth.
To
New
be
York
clear,
City.
this is Earth.
Tokyo.
Japan. Earth.
I mean, Google does the same thing to you when you look up an address. It's like 467 North Street.
Earth.
Yeah. And like every time I put something into my address book from Google, it's like, by the way, this is Earth. Thanks, Google.
Feel like I'm getting trolled, like when people, you look at your Twitter profile and people put Earth. No shit, Sherlock.
I'm like, is it though? Please continue.
All right. So some poor dude is minding his own business in the middle of the desert when something falls out of the sky, runs up to him and sneezes, sending him flying backward and presumably killing him. Thus, the invasion of Earth begins.
It's like, yeah. Jesus.
It just blows him away.
That's
him and his camels.
It was pretty
that
cool.
Was funny. That was a good quip you got there. That was good.
I'm never going to look at that scene again. Ever without laughing. Sneezed.
We rewatched that scene like 3 times.
Came to Earth, go, fuck allergies.
the big fucking thing from later on in another episode did the same thing. It's just fucking sneezed.
Yeah, major sneeze on that one.
Jesus. Except we sucked it all up first.
He landed in the desert. It's like,
yeah, snorts up a bunch of pepper and just kills everything.
Nice.
That's how Peaky sneezes at me.
Oh god, that was funny.
All right, so our first storyline is Jim Bell Tyson, played by Sam Neill. It's his last day on the job for Sheriff Jim Bell Tyson, who is the law in Idabel, Oklahoma, which is on Earth, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that. Despite having his office packed and being ready for retirement, Tyson and his deputy are called out to solve the case of a missing truck from one of the locals who said that his nephew and nephew's friend stole it and ran off. While looking for the missing truck, Tyson comes across a strange crop circle out in the field by the barn where the truck was stolen. He finds the truck there ransacked and is then attacked by a swarm of locusts. Now that the truck has been located, Sheriff Tyson interrogates the local skinhead drug dealer to try to find the car thief and his friend. The drug dealer sends him to the nephew's stripper girlfriend, who tells Tyson that the guy and his buddy ran off to Mexico. Despite this, Tyson has a gut feeling that something is amiss. That night, at his retirement party, Tyson fucks off to try to solve this one last case before riding off into the sunset. He goes back out to the crop circle from earlier and finds that there's something moving beneath the ground within the crop circle. Tyson thinks it's one of the two missing men, but as he tries to dig into the ground to find out what's beneath him, he's fucking killed by an alien. Or is he?
Or is he?
He is spat at by an alien and then he falls down.
No, there's like a little stinger tail that comes up and
Yeah.
like hits him in the base of the skull.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
They did this in Star Trek
Yeah?
in season 1 when the little slugs took over the Starfleet. Remember?
No.
You don't
That
remember
happens so many times.
No, it did not.
Yes, it did.
No, it did not.
Dude, a
not in
freaking
Star Trek.
an alien being took
No.
over the spaceship like 17 times
No.
a season.
Not this one took over Starfleet.
Oh, okay.
Vader, did you recognize the meth head?
Yeah, from he was from Yellowstone.
Yellowstone, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Perfectly
Nice.
cast.
Yeah.
The racist meth head.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. That scene, I don't know, man. I can watch Sam Neill freaking paint a fence, so I didn't mind this
Sam Neill
character.
was great.
It was
I really
awesome.
don't understand your
I-
infatuation with him,
It's Jurassic Park, bro.
other than Jurassic Park.
I really liked this character and I liked the storyline and I wanted to see more of it. And when he dies at the end, I'm just like, what the fuck?
You
Yeah,
don't
you
know
called
that.
it stunt casting.
Stunt casting.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's coming back.
I think
if-
he's going
if-
to be a pod person.
If you're right, and this is literally the only time we see Sam Neill in this entire show, I will freaking disown this whole show because that is stunt casting to the max. I think he's coming back. I think he's either knocked out or something like that, or he'll become a freaking pod person
yeah.
or something.
This is the invasion. They're taking over our bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they need to move on.
This is a
it's
real
real
slow
This is a
burn.
slow burn, man.
This is a very slow
All
burn.
right, keep going.
There was that scene where he confronts the racist skinhead drug dealer guy, and he was like talking shit, like taunting the old cop, and he just freaking like karate chops him in the neck and takes him. I was like, yes, freaking get him, Sam Neill. I don't know. I thought that was cool. That was one of my favorite moments in this freaking storyline. Was him just being like that, like grumpy old Sam Neill ex-sheriff. I'm in, man. He sold it. And this is the only time I've ever seen him pull off a convincing accent that is not New Zealand.
I don't know. His Russian accent in Hunt for October was pretty good.
It was all right.
He has an Australian accent in Jurassic.
He has a weird cadence that they tried to cover up with an American
I've
accent.
never really noticed it, I
But
guess.
like Steven Spielberg was like, "Hey Sam, can you do an American accent?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And he tried to do it, and then like later on, Steven Spielberg was like, don't try to cover it up."
I love it when not Americans try to do an American accent. It's so weird.
He pulls it off in this one, like an Oklahoma accent.
Oh, no, but just like a no accent
Oh, yeah.
American accent. It just sounds so weird.
Yeah.
Like they're really trying. I love it. It's one of my favorite things.
I like this one. This was cool. But anyway, what's the next storyline we got?
All right, so our next character is named Anisha Malik. And Anisha seems to have the perfect life as a housewife in the suburbs of Long Island, New York, Earth. Until one day, when all the kids at her children's school spontaneously suffer from nosebleeds. Her daughter Sarah suffers from a nosebleed, but her son Luke is unaffected. She takes them both to the doctor, and we find out that she has a medical degree from Harvard, but gave up to be a wife and mother. She tries calling her husband, but he's conspicuously absent. Using the Find Your Phone app on his iPad, she drives out to the fancy part of Long Island, Earth, to discover her husband is a piece of shit who's been cheating on her with a white blonde woman who takes really excellent pictures of food and puts them on Instagram.
Freaking Instagram.
Oh my gosh, while we were looking at this, Kadish was like, those pictures are really good. Like, that looks delicious.
I was really into them. I wish more of the episode had focused on that. When her husband returns home, Anisha is about to confront him about his cheating when a huge crash is heard overhead, and they look out to the street to see that it looks like something has destroyed a lot of property in their neighborhood, causing them both to shelve the whole "my husband is a piece of shit" talk. Anisha and her family take shelter in the basement as piece of shit, aka Ahmed, goes out to investigate the crash. All his neighbors treat him with suspicion because all white people are racist, and piece of shit Ahmed runs back inside his house.
That's right.
Well, they said your house is the only one that
left
wasn't
standing.
hit.
Yeah.
So I'd be suspicious of
Just
that
then,
too.
Luke starts screaming because he says he can hear a voice in his head saying, "Wajo." Piece of shit husband says he's going to call 911 in regards to his son nearly having a brain meltdown, but instead calls his mistress to see if she's okay and lies about calling 911 when he comes back into the living room. As it turns out, Anisha listened in on his phone call and knows what he did. Another alien flyby shatters all the windows in the Malik house, and the family decides that they should evacuate. They hop into piece of shit's Tesla, but he can't get the electric car to start. So he hops out and tries to abandon his fucking family by hitching a ride with the neighbors.
What
And
a
then-
piece
and
of
then
shit.
Shoots him down. It's like, no, man, fuck you. You're
Yeah,
a piece of shit.
look, dude.
And like everyone in the neighborhood is like, mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, everybody's literally going, what are you? Your family's right there.
They're watching him.
Such a freaking garbage
He's
human.
the
He
worst.
really is. He's
So
awful.
terrible.
So when the neighbors tell him to fuck off, Anisha forces him into the car and uses her phone and her big brain to start the car, and they all drive off. They make it to a gas station, but because they have to fight over the one charging station for their douchey car, Anisha steals a real car from a family and
a
makes
key?
with a key from some poor family, and then
With kids.
yeah, with kids, and makes their way into upstate New York and is able to snag one last room from some random hotel for the night. The piece of shit then goes and tries to call his mistress again, but keeps getting her answering machine. He comes
dead.
back into their room and sleeps on the floor, and Anisha now realizes she's actually alone in the responsibility of caring for her children during this crisis.
Oh my god, dude, this was so frustrating. Okay, so the only part of this sequence that I liked was the nosebleed sequence with the kids. That was freaky a little. And I was like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? And then it like just gets dropped. So I don't know if they're gonna call back to that
Oh,
later.
that's definitely coming back.
The kid not having one and
Yeah.
him hearing the voices in his head.
He's special.
He's special. He's gonna be a pod person or something or whatever.
Yeah. As soon as the opening scene, as soon as I saw that she has this perfect life, I was like, he's cheating on her.
Dude, how, like, as a writer, you're sitting down, you're like, how many times can I express to the audience that this guy deserves to die?
Yeah.
A horrible death.
But they're going to keep him alive.
Yeah.
for the whole
I,
show.
God, I hope
He's
not.
gonna have a hero's journey.
He's gonna be the
No.
hero at the end. Yes, absolutely.
You think they're gonna like
God, I
They're
hope
probably
not.
gonna kill off one of his kids.
Here's
the
And then-
daughter?
Yeah, and then they're gonna have him do a hero's journey because that's the thing
Listen,
that made
Well,
him.
he doesn't care about any of his kids.
Yeah,
That's
he
all.
tried to
True.
abandon them.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not redeemable.
See, like the whole point, like up to like where he was revealed that he was cheating. It's like, okay, people are unhappy in their marriages. They cheat. He's not a terrible person. But then the minute he tries to like abandon his family, like right then and there,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this guy's a
guy's
piece
a
of
piece of
shit.
shit.
And
Yeah.
like even before that, he's so bummed out that there's some kind of like attack happening because he's like,
Well, they don't know
I
what's
was
happening.
going to tell you I was leaving you next week. And she's like, well, I'm sorry that the shit hit the fan before you got to abandon me.
Right.
I'm so sorry.
And he keeps calling his fucking mistress.
Oh my God.
While his kids are like, facing this crisis. It's just like, dude.
He's the worst.
Yeah. It doesn't even make like sense.
Yeah.
As a person, you wouldn't. I don't know. It doesn't make it. Go ahead, Vader.
Just the whole time this story was going on, I was looking at my watch and I'm going, the fuck am I watching right now? I thought this was an alien invasion movie, and here I am reading about this
Soap opera.
stupid bitch in her soap opera life. I don't care.
You know what? And she's
I
so
don't
weak.
care.
She is a weak bitch.
Yes.
And I know I say that a lot, but it applies.
Although I did love that scene where the doctor's kind of grilling her about the test that she did on her son.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, well, I
She's very smart.
went to med school, and he's like, oh, like, where did you go to school? And she's like, Harvard. You? And he's like, Sandusky.
Yeah.
So it was a nice own, but it wasn't like she was like trying to own him. She was just like very just kind of matter of fact.
Yeah, but when it comes to her husband, the whole time she's like, but I did everything right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the point.
Yeah.
You should be mad at this guy. And like, she like cooks him a dinner from Mandy's fucking Instagram
That was a
page
weird flex.
in order to like confront
Yeah.
him.
Well, that
But
was-
like it fell flat. It fell totally flat because he was like, yeah, she's great. I love her. She's blonde. She's not you. Burn.
Yeah.
And then he tries to abandon his family and she's like, get in the car. You're coming with us. Why? I don't know.
I don't either.
And then,
yeah, I'd have left him there.
yeah. And then when he doesn't call 911, she doesn't even confront him about it. And then doesn't also call 911.
What's up, V? You had something else to say?
The whole her finding the mistress on the Instagram and
Yeah.
cooking the thing. I thought that was actually my favorite part of her
Seriously?
story. Yeah, because she went down a little bit of a dark road. She went a little crazy there.
Started stalking her and like
She-
liking all her Instagram photos.
She said,
Oh, yeah.
we got piece of shit husband and now we got crazy mom.
Well, yeah.
But she snapped out of it when all the weird shit started happening. But again, I don't care. I don't fucking care about all this stupid soap opera bullshit. Give me some fucking aliens.
They're
some
coming.
ships and some fucking War of the World stuff. You know, it's just
Yeah, when they were
this-
having their breakup
I don't
talk
care.
and
It was
finally
brutal.
something crashed outside, I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
and then they just
Okay.
kept having the
Yeah,
breakup
it's just
talk.
This whole show is nothing. I'm going to say
It's
the
a
same
tease.
fucking thing about every single story Matt's going to tell.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care.
Okay.
I want some fucking aliens.
Give 'em a
I
second.
want some sci-fi.
I got
I
you.
want some fucking ships flying through the atmosphere. I don't want a meteor drive off the road. And then the fucking invisible shit comes up and snorts on somebody and blows them across the desert. I don't care about this stuff.
This whole-
it's 3 fucking hours
Of tease. It's
setup.
a cock tease.
Bullshit. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm spitting all over you.
It's okay.
It's just nonsense.
I'm melting into
Oh,
you.
I'm just
Did you get it out?
man.
You're good?
no.
Okay.
This show pisses me off. It's annoying.
It's
It's the whole fucking show is annoying.
very, very slow.
It's brutal slow.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Jude?
I'm getting a very Attack of the Body Snatchers feel for this. And I think that what they're doing is setting up who these people are so that when the Body Snatchers attack,
We care.
but it's different. And that's how we'll know. Like, this is obviously this person.
Okay.
And then in the next scene, when he's a completely different person, we're going to know that that's an alien.
Like Sam Neill's character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
He's very
what
distinctive.
That's what I think is going on.
Oh, the husband then. So you think the husband's a complete piece of shit, and then all of a sudden he's going to be a freaking, like, oh.
Well, they need
I don't
Awesome
know,
dad.
but I think he's going to be different than this piece of shit.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be a worse piece of shit. Maybe he'll start murdering people. I don't know, but it's going to be different, and that's how we're going to know that he's an alien.
Okay. That's interesting. I like that. Continue, Kiddish.
All right, so now we get to Mitsuki Yamamoto. Mitsuki Yamamoto is the best science engineer the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency has. She's also a secret lesbian, and she's about to shoot her secret lesbian lover into space so she can spend a couple of years at the International Space Station. Mitsuki is cool with this long-distance relationship arrangement until she discovers her girlfriend has been killed mysteriously when something impacted the shuttle on its way to the space station, killing everyone on board. Mitsuki mourns the loss of her lesbian lover by getting drunk and getting some strange, but she gets the female equivalent of whiskey dick and tells her random hookup to beat it, preferring to pass out in the shower, a total hot mess. The next day, she shows back up into work to see the investigation into the tragedy is being taken over by the government. She believes that she's smarter than these investigators and steals all the footage from the shuttle and locks herself in a server room to go through the footage to try to discover what happened. As the authorities try to get into the room, Mitsuki eventually finds the footage of the actual incident that killed the shuttle's crew. And just as she runs some filters to isolate a noise that is a voice saying Wajo, the authorities break in and arrest her.
Out of all of them, I think this is one of my top favorite ones.
I liked this one.
This is a cool story,
I thought it was
and it
interesting.
was
of the stories that we've gotten, this is the best one, but it's still boring as shit.
And here's the thing, I don't know what kind of rules that are in this show. However, we all know that if you are out in space for a millisecond, you're freezing to death.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if you caught it, but like when that crash happened, the girlfriend astronaut, she was still alive and moving around. I think she's a pod person.
No,
and I think that they did some kind of like alien mojo to isolate where she was.
I don't actually, I'm not trying to shit on you,
Okay.
but I don't think you immediately die in a millisecond. I think you actually are going to suffer.
Well, she was getting sucked out.
No, but when I think when you like get decompressed into space, I think you actually are kind of it's not very long, but I think it's enough to where you can like go at
But
least
I
move or
thought
something.
space was so cold you immediately freeze.
It takes a couple seconds.
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm not trying to.
I mean, it's not. We're talking seconds here. We're not talking
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm floating around for 5
I'm
minutes.
gonna Google it.
I'm gonna Google.
Google,
it.
yeah, you should Google that. This one I think was the most interesting. I like the mystery that it was setting up, them going into space, and then her trying to figure out what happened to the crash. It was very emotional. It worked on all the points. I was in, and I was invested in trying to figure out what happened to the spaceship as well.
Well, the interesting thing is like they set it up so it looks like that the astronaut girlfriend is going to be the character that we're following, and she goes to the International Space Station. You think, oh, we're going to see the invasion from the perspective of these people on the space station. It's like, nope.
Yep, shifts gears on you and freaking boom.
15 seconds.
15 seconds. That's a long time to
You would
die.
lose consciousness in 15 seconds.
Yeah, and this entire storyline is in Japanese, so you have to read the subtitles.
That doesn't bother me. Does that bother you?
In this case, no.
Okay, cool.
Like I kind of liked it. For some
Yeah.
reason, I don't know why.
It would have been weirder if they were all talking English.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it was cool. Again, I think each one of these little sub episodes for these characters is kind of like giving you a little drop of information for each one, and you have to try to like figure out what's going on. But
Her
Go
mom
ahead,
kind of
Kish.
cracked me up.
her mom was hilarious.
Yeah, it's like, can't you find a nice boy?
Oh, maybe this was supposed to happen.
Yeah,
So now you
Oh
go
my
find-
God,
she
that
was
was
she was so mean.
She
could
was
go-
like, this is probably a gift from
Yeah,
God.
this is a
Your
gift from
girlfriend
God.
dying horribly.
You can go find a nice man and have some babies and settle down.
So
Maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah. Look on the bright side.
That was dark.
Horrible.
Look on the bright side, you can have some dick now.
Yeah.
you
Doesn't
like-
that sound good?
Oh my god, dude. Yeah,
Look how happy I am.
that mom was brutal.
Good old Japanese mom.
Oh, I love it.
So traditional. I didn't know that like homosexuality was so shameful in Japan.
Japan's they're very traditional.
Yeah.
A lot of tradition going on over
There's a
there.
lot of warped, weird shit going on over there, too.
Yeah. Well, that's what
We
happened.
just don't talk about that.
Don't talk about
It shoots off. Oh, you guys are dicks.
Oh, tentacle porn.
So very dishonorable.
Y'all know you're freaks. You get weird shit on your freaking internet.
Yeah, have a couple of nukes dropped on you, see how normal you are.
Just no. You don't recover from
But you
something
know
like
what?
that.
The hot blonde Japanese lesbian was pretty hot.
She was gorgeous.
Yeah, I
Oh yeah,
like her.
very attractive.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on before we really get ourselves in trouble.
All right, so our next story is Casper Morrow, who is a fine Irish lad who likes to listen to 90s alt rock, talk about titties with his friends, and lives in London, England, Earth. Casper needs medication to help him control seizures that afflict him, but no amount of medication can keep the school bully Monty Cuttermill from picking on him. While on a school field trip, Casper suffers from a seizure just as everyone's cell phones go on the fritz and burning stuff starts falling from the sky, causing the bus to drive into the craziest ditch you've ever seen anywhere ever. Luckily, none of the kids are seriously hurt from the nosedive their bus took into the huge hole in the ground in the Irish countryside. However, their teacher, Mr. Edwards, is seriously injured, and none of the kids can call for help because their cell phones aren't working. Monty blames Casper for the crash and starts taking control of the group, forcing them to ration their food and drink. Casper lights a signal fire, hoping to get help, and it seems like him and Monty bond for a bit over their shitty fathers, but Monty was just making it all up to fuck with Casper. Later that night, Monty goes out to the signal fire and puts it out, leading us to believe that Monty is a little psychotic and the whole Lord of the Flies storyline is just beginning.
I hate this one.
I do too.
I did too. I hated it because I didn't care about the little kid, and I also really despise that freaking bully kid.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was a fucking crater.
Oh my God. The whole setup for this is like.
Where were they going?
It's a rock quarry.
The kid, yeah, it's a rock quarry, but there was like a freaking 60-foot drop.
Yeah,
you
there are
think-
ways out of a rock quarry.
I know, right? It's just
It's literally a hole in the earth.
It wasn't was it a crater?
Wait, what planet is there a hole in?
Earth.
It's just the whole setup for this didn't make any sense, right? They're in the bus, they're driving down. What's his face has a freaking seizure. The bus driver gets distracted. Meteors start crashing down, and they swerve off the road and they fall into the pit of despair from Princess Bride. And they're just
Don't even think about trying to escape.
it's literally, and they get in there and like you watch this van freaking just plummet, and you're looking at this hole, and when you're in the hole and the camera's on the ground, you can't see the top. That bus would be crumpled
I was
into
like,
nothing.
oh shit, all those kids just died.
Yeah.
And then the next scene,
They're
they're
all
all like,
fine.
let's ration our chips.
None of them have any injuries
None.
at all.
School buses are very safe.
They
Well,
don't
not
even
for
have
the
seatbelts
driver.
on.
Yeah,
was
like
being
they didn't have
sarcastic.
any seatbelts. I turned to Jude. I was like, how did none of those kids get seriously messed up by
Yeah.
that fall? Because
Yeah.
it was like a straight drop
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. It doesn't make any
One
sense.
One thing I always wondered about the real school buses, they don't have seatbelts.
No, they do. They just never use them.
No,
they
they don't have
seatbelts.
them.
We had seatbelts in ours when I was a kid. They updated it from the 80s.
That's true, because the first time I had, when the first time Rhett rode a bus, they buckled him in.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was a kid,
Man.
they were there, but nobody used them. I don't know
There
if
was-
they've changed it
There
since.
was no such thing as seatbelts.
No, I know. Yeah.
And we ran rampant over that school bus. Oh man, my school bus driver hated me. This is a little bit of a
Tangent.
tangent. First day of 8th grade, I catch the bus. Mrs. Fry, my bus driver, hated me because I was a little shit, right? First day I get on the bus, I start going in the back. She's all,
Mr. Vader.
and, I go up. She's got my name taped to the front seat of the bus.
Oh, she had you pegged.
First day of school.
Yeah.
I was so angry.
I know this freaking kid.
Oh man.
No, I don't know.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
the school bus thing makes no sense. And then after they get down there and this whole Lord of the Flies thing starts to kind of get, I was like, Jesus Christ, how horrible are these kids?
And then he bullies Casper into voting for him, which I don't know why Casper thought that was going to go better for him.
what the voting?
Now you just fucked over everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've known bullies and some kids, but that kid is way over the top.
Way
He's
over the top.
Yeah.
He's a psycho. Like
He's
you
a
said,
psycho.
like, yeah, the freaking
He
kid's
belongs
nuts.
in an institution.
Also, Casper, he's so poor that he can only afford like a Walkman from like the 90s, like battery powered Walkman.
Probably came with that tape in it.
Yeah, that's why he's listening to like the rock and roll I used to listen to in high school when I was growing up. And it's just like, it's kind of interesting because when all the other kids' phones go out, like he's still like rocking and
Yeah.
he like pulls out his earpiece and he's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So like, I get the sense that his kind of like analog lifestyle is going to play some kind of type of role in this.
Plus, he gets seizures, and that separates him from the rest of the kids. So the things that are going to affect everyone around him are going to affect him differently, because they're setting up who's different and
Yeah.
and what is going to make
And
them.
it's, so far
like,
it's been 2 kids.
yeah, and it's probably going to be like a digital body snatching, but it's not going to affect the kid without the nosebleed.
Yeah.
It's not going to affect the kid with the seizures,
Oh, God.
and they're going to be the ones that have to like
This show better
save
not.
humanity.
This show, I'm going to be so done if a bunch of freaking 12-year-olds save the Earth from alien invasions.
Save the earth.
Earth.
Save the earth.
Save the Earth.
Welcome to Earth.
Welcome to Earth. That's a better alien movie than this.
Maybe in the next episode we'll get something on Mars.
Go ahead, Kish.
All right. So finally, we have Travanti Cole, who is a U.S. soldier stationed in the Kandahar province of Afghanistan, which is also on Earth. He spends his days farting on barbecue, playing PlayStation, and speaking with his girlfriend stateside, who apparently wants nothing to do with him. Cole's squad is tasked with investigating the disappearance of another U.S. Army squad, the trail of which takes them to an abandoned village out in the desert. While there, a giant alien shows up, creating a sandstorm around Cole and his unit. When the soldiers open fire on the alien, it sneezes and apparently kills them all. Luckily, Cole survives, but he's injured and unable to contact home base. Without being able to find his squad mates, he ventures into the desert and eventually collapses from his injuries and the heat. Cole is found by a traveling pilgrim who nurses him back to health. The two men talk about the stars, and even though they can't understand each other, a bond is formed between them.
This is not the same guy from the beginning of the episode, of the first episode, right?
What are you talking about?
The guy in the desert.
No, it's a different guy.
Okay,
Different guy.
that's what I thought.
Different guy in the desert.
Yeah, different guy in the desert with different camels.
Yeah, that
What's
guy
the
got
matter?
sneezed on.
Can't you tell them apart,
Right.
Jude?
I can't tell their camels apart. They look like the same camel.
So that guy was in Yemen
Yes.
Earth.
Okay.
This guy's in
Oh,
Afghanistan
Okay.
Earth.
Okay.
Yemen,
Yeah.
Afghanistan.
Gotcha.
Same thing,
Geography.
right? Middle
Anyway.
East, desert.
Anyway,
It's all on Earth.
this one, I don't know. I didn't hate this one. I thought it was fine. I think the show suffers from like there's too many
Yeah.
stories. We needed like Sam Neill's, the kids, and
Well,
like
also
this
all
one
the
or
stories are
something.
fucking boring as shit.
Oh god,
Yeah.
they so much are.
Yeah, they spend
really are.
they spend so long just talking about like the freaking drama in these people's lives. Meanwhile, there's like cool shit happening behind them, and the camera never points to
know.
it.
Yeah. I think they're just making it a point to be like, see, this is everywhere.
I get it, man. I mean, there's a reason why they dropped the first 3 episodes.
It's 3 hours of.
It's 3 hours of your life. You're
This
never
is
gonna
so
get back.
slow. It's going to be real hard to go week to week on it.
I don't know.
Well, what if after these 3 episodes of setup, it just it builds to something epic?
So our Discord has been saying that the reviewers who got like the entire season to review have said that it gets much better as the
I hope
series
so.
it
goes
has
along.
to.
But all the people who've watched these first 3 episodes are like, this show sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Is that the only storyline? Is there any more?
Those are all the storylines
Okay, cool.
for
Good,
all 3
good.
episodes.
So in general, I agree. I completely agree where you're coming from. It's very slow. To me, I was on board because I was kind of like, I know they're dropping little hints here and there, and they're building up to something. I believe they're building up to something epic, and it's going to be freaking fantastic. And with movies like or shows like Foundation, and even season 2, the production value is bumped up way higher than season 1. I think this is going to be a good freaking show. It's just going to take a while to get there.
Yeah.
So I'm on board. I'm still enjoying it, but I know you said you were like freaking pull the freaking plug on this shit.
I'm still going to watch it, whether we're reviewing it or not. I don't think I'm going to be like, ooh, is it the day for invasion yet? I'll probably wait for a couple of episodes and then try and get like more of the story under my belt.
I was really disappointed with what I saw because the trailers made it look really
Yeah.
awesome. And then like 3 hours in, I'm just like, first of all, they killed off the most interesting character in the first episode.
Or did they?
Or did they? Everything happens on Earth. It's so 2021. And like, it's just like the fact that Simon Kinsburg is behind this really saps a lot of the faith I have in this series out of it, because I don't think he's a very good writer. And it just seems like everything is so slow and boring, and I just don't care about any of these characters at all. And so I'm kind of wondering, it's like next episode has got to be like really good in order for me to invest myself in the show, but so far not good.
Yeah, they've spent enough time setting things up. I need for some
Yeah, we need
some,
this thing
I
needs
need for
to move
some
on.
bodies to get snatched.
Yeah, I need some aliens. And I wasn't even really on.
And I don't want starfish looking weird starro aliens. Okay, that's that alien that they had. That was bullshit. That was
the
like
big-
some
It was like the world destroyer thing.
when these movies they make something weird and not alien like be the alien. It just takes me out of it as well. It's like, give me some fucking Mars attacks aliens. You know,
Or don't show us the alien at all.
or well,
No, I need to see the
I need
alien.
to see the alien.
I want a full on like.
I want some Greys invading Earth. I want something cool, you know.
Well, I think it's very scary when you have like an alien that you can't see. It's like microscopic, but it can take over your body, and now you are the
Yeah.
alien, and you don't know if your husband is the alien. Like, I think that's really scary.
There has to be
But
a
that's been done.
100
times.
and there has to be a
Still scary.
visual cue. Like I want
Yeah.
like if somebody's snatched, they better have like freaking 4 sets of eyelids or some
what
shit.
was that movie that came out a few years ago where it was just a big black ship in the middle of the field,
Oh, Arrival.
and
They had, like-
the whole movie was just them going in there and pushing the fucking
Yeah, Arrival.
Oh, writing on the whiteboards.
Yeah.
yeah. It was like
Didn't you cry?
I
during
thought
that?
that was
lot.
Jude ugly cried at that movie.
that was
I love
supposed-
that movie.
I thought that was supposed to be a really cool movie. I was bored to tears.
do
To tears.
You think that's what this is going
I
to be?
think this is where I'm going
That
with
was
this
that was
movie.
directed by the same guy who did Dune.
Well, shocker. Because it's pretty, but it's boring as fuck. And it's just, I hope I want more.
Okay. All right, guys.
I need more on this kind of a show.
That's it for the first 3 episodes. Let us know in the comments below whether or not you're in for the show, or whether you think it's going to pay off in a big way, or if it's just too freaking boring to continue and you're not going to watch it. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Do you want us to stick with it or bail?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of making fun of potential for this show.
It very could. The sneezing thing got me. That was hilarious.
It's all done on Earth.
Yeah. Everything happened
The whole
on
show
Earth.
is going to be on Earth.
This show brought to you by Earth.
Vader, where can they find you on the Earth socials?
On the Earth socials?
Yeah.
You find me at MattVader74 on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and also on the salty_nerd Twitter.
There you go.
I'm running that now too. So.
Cool. Jude, where can they find you at?
You can find me at I am Jude Juju on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Matthew Kadish.
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter. KadishBooks.com takes you to my Amazon page. And also check out our Facebook group, all of which are located on Earth.
I am your host, Alex, the Salty Nerd. You can catch me on our Discord app, saltynerddiscord.com. That is where the action happens. We have a great community over there. Come join us. And thank you for tuning into this video, and we hope you enjoy our content. And as always, stay salty, my friends.